Hello, everyone, and welcome to another video reaction for Okay, Here Is the Story. I am Dee Burns. So, today I am going to be looking at the new Jason Aldean song. Now, I have told you guys in the past that I'm really not into country music much anymore. I mean, there's a few acts that I follow, Toby Keith, consistently, but I'm really not into that world anymore. Back in the day, I used to really like Jason Aldean. I thought he had good music. And so I'm kind of interested in seeing what this video is like. But before we get into that, first of all, I want to tell you I have the windows open today because it's a really gorgeous day here in South Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That being said, this weekend is our annual water and air show on Lake Michigan. Part of that show is that the Blue Angels come and they put on a show over the lake. Well, the lake is literally at the end of my block. And the airport is literally 5 minutes that way. And they take off from the airport and they fly out to the lake. So, practice today is from 10 to 3. I tried to get up early and do this and get this done before their practice, but I didn't get it done. So if you hear the Blue Angels go over, obviously I'm going to see them before I hear them. So if I see them, I'll tell you, okay, here it comes. And it's loud. It shakes my house when they go over. Matter of fact, best friend was sitting here last night and they went over and he was like, holy crap. I go, I know, they're so loud. But anyway. So if you hear that, I apologize. So let's get into this. I'm going to start out by reading parts of an article written by Joe Sommerlad for The Independent. The headline says, "A modern lynching song? ? Jason Aldean and the most controversial song in country." This really interests me. Okay, so it says, country music star Jason Aldean is facing a storm of criticism after releasing a new music video for his song, Try That in a Small Town. The clip features alarmist news footage of violent clashes between demonstrators and police officers, petty crime, and flag burning, seemingly to make an impassioned point about the extent of current political divisions within the United States. An increasingly vocal conservative since the final year of the Trump administration, Aldean is perhaps best known to non-fans for being the act, who was on the stage performing when the mass shooter, Stephen Paddock, opened fire on revelers attending the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival on the Las Vegas Strip on October 1st, 2017. And that's what I thought, because I've been watching, they have it on the news like every 5 minutes. And they've been saying, well, he's promoting gun violence and lynching and, whatnot. And I'm like, and I looked at best friend and I'm like, he was the one that was on the stage when the Las Vegas shooting happened. I find it hard to believe that he's promoting gun violence. Now, there's a difference. There is a difference between promoting gun violence versus having a gun is my Second Amendment right, and you have no right to come in and take that away from me as an American. There's a difference, big difference. You can stand up and say, no, government, you cannot come in and take my gun because my forefathers gave me the Second Amendment right. But you cannot say or do, take a gun and go kill people. And there's a difference between taking a gun and going out and killing people versus self-defense. Big difference. Big difference. Intention, for one, is totally different. But anyway, okay, I'll step off my soapbox. We'll go on with the article. Paddock attacked the crowd with a 1,000-bullet hail of gunfire from the balcony of his 32nd floor suite at the Nevada gambling Mecca's Mandalay Bay. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Killing 60 people and injuring 413 before turning his assault rifle on himself. His motive has never been established. I'm going to skip that whole thing because it just talks about Aldean, what he did after the shooting. He posted on Instagram and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now the article goes back to saying, however, rather than make a compassionate appeal for gun control in light of having witnessed such a traumatic episode, Aldean instead appears to be doubling down on his Second Amendment advocacy in this new single from his upcoming 11th album. Here's why the song, and its new music video in particular, is so contentious. This guy uses big words. Okay, so the first thing he says, what is Try That in a Small Town about? Again, I have not heard this song. I have not seen the video. I just see a lot of YouTuber creators that I follow are reacting to it. So I thought I would give it a try. So again, I have not heard the lyrics. I have not read the lyrics. I have not seen the video. So I don't know. Okay, what is Try That in a Small Town about? The lyrics for Jason Aldean's new track depict America's major cities as liberal havens for anarchy and street crime, characterized by disrespect for authority and contempt for traditional values. Sorry, I'm rereading that paragraph. It depicts America's major cities. It depicts liberal havens for anarchy and street crime. Okay. Like Bruce Wayne, okay, and his most embittered and dismayed, Aldean denounces small-time urban thugs who sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, or pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store, or even worse, cuss out a cop or spit on the stars and stripes. Aldean denounces small-time urban thugs. Denounces. Huh. We might have to come back to that statement after I see the video. He challenges the perpetrators in macho fashion to try that in a small town, which by contrast is more likely to be populated by good old boys, raised upright, meaning well armed, with licensed weapons and good manners and unafraid of a fight. On the subject of gun ownership specifically, he sings, God got a gun that my granddad gave me. Okay. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that poop, not poop, but I'm gonna say poop, might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Round here, we take care of our own. Okay. Coming from a small town in Iowa. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Okay. Nothing untrue about those statements. It's very true. If you live in a small town, a lot of times your granddad will give you a weapon, not necessarily a gun, but probably a gun because they take you out hunting. They teach you how to live off the land. They're not giving you a gun to go shoot people. It's for hunting. They say one day they're going to round up. Well, the government has said many times that they want to ban the Second Amendment. That's not an untrue statement. He's just saying, they're saying that they're going to come get my gun. Well, that poop might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. Well, I mean, that's not an untrue statement. See how far you make it down the road. Round here, we take care of our own. I'm going to wait and comment on those last three until I see the video. Okay, why has the video been criticized? The single's new video, directed by Sean Silva. Oh, he's big-time video director in country music. Overtly aligns Aldean's societal concerns with the sort of hysterical anti-Antifa paranoia peddled by right-wing cable news channels, Fox, bringing together a collage of real news footage taken from recent New York political protests to paint a disturbing vision of hooded youths engaged in wanton destruction, hooting and anti-patriotic vandalism which overworked law enforcement are seen to struggle to contain. More troubling, it also features a morose Aldean and his leather-jacketed, Stetson-wearing bandmates performing in front of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee. Okay. This is the site of a notorious lynching in 1927 when black youth Henry Choate, 18, was hung from a second-story window by a white mob after being dragged along behind a car. I just want to say, any lynching is terrible, but we need to embrace the fact that, yes, it happened in our history. It happened in our history. We've learned from it. We've moved on. We don't do lynchings today. And who the hell would look at, it's a courthouse, right? Okay. Who in the hell would look at a courthouse and go, oh, that's the courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee, where that young African-American Henry Choate got choked in 1927, or not choked, but lynched in 1927. Who would know that unless you dig and bring it to people's attention? There is no young African-American today that would know that. I don't think. Maybe I'm speaking out of school. Yeah, I mean, nobody would know that. I wouldn't know that. And is he showing the lynching? I mean, is he showing a literal lynching in front of the Capitol? See, now I'm more interested in getting into the video. So let's just jump over to the video. I may come back after to this news article and see how much of this news article is true or if it's fake. Okay, so let's get into the video. Here we go. Jason Aldean, try that in a small town.
Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
Okay, I want to stop it here. I know some of you have commented that I stop kind of often, but just so you know, YouTube kind of requires you to, because if you don't, then you can get a mark for not contributing to the interpretation of whatever you're reviewing. So anyway, stop right here. He is showing actual news footage. He didn't hire actors and actresses to do that. And there was all kinds of people in that crowd. Oh, okay. Sorry, there's a big noise outside my window. Okay, he didn't hire actors and actresses. That was real news footage. And there were all kinds of people. There were white people, African Americans, women, men. There was all kinds. It wasn't just one group. Okay, and I'm assuming this is the courthouse that they're talking about. Okay, well, let's get back into it.
Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around don't. Try that in a small town full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. Try that in a small town.
Okay, there's like a minute of this video left, but I want to make some comments before I go on. First of all, I don't see one of the things that he said in that article that I think his name was Jason said in that no, it wasn't Jason. I don't know, Joe. He said in that article was that he is promoting inner city thugs. I don't see that. Am I just blind? Living in South Milwaukee, I will say there, I live right in the middle of Milwaukee and Kenosha and Racine. And we've had many protests go on. We've hit the national news from the protests that we've had. Kyle Rittenhouse was involved in one of them. And, it was scary. And I will say, having grown up in Iowa, small town Iowa, I never had experienced that. And it terrified me. I didn't know how far those protests were going to come north. Best friend, he kept telling me, you're safe, you're fine, you're safe. But he had to really talk me off the ledge because I didn't know. I grew up in a small town where we don't do that stuff. We may protest. No, we don't even protest. We will protest, but we do it through our vote. We vote people in to our city councils and, our sheriff and our fire chief. We vote people in that are going to protect us and keep us safe. And if you don't, we will band together and we'll make changes. I'm not saying using violence. There's many ways to make changes without violence. Now, I will say my boys were partially raised in a small town. And then when they were in 5th and 3rd grade, we moved up here to Milwaukee because they were growing up in a small town. I love my small town, but it was all white. And I did not want my boys to get out into the world and be shocked. I did not want my sons to wear glasses where they just saw white. I wanted them to be exposed to all minorities, all races, all beliefs, so that not only could they make their own decisions about their beliefs and their values, but everybody could be their friend. And they've grown up, but they still have that small town good old boy mentality. That's why my youngest son is a Marine, because he went into the Marines to protect this country. That's why Hunter is the way he is. That boy went all the way through school defending against bullies, defending the little guy, because Hunter's a big kid, or young man. He was a big kid growing up, but he is a big young man now too. And he would do the same thing. He would protect anybody who's being bullied. Not that he goes out looking for it, because he doesn't, but if something happens, he's going to protect. And that's the way I raised my boys. So anyway, off the soapbox, let's finish this last minute of the video.
Small town. Round here we take care of our own. You cross that line.
Hunting.
It won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
These farmers are dropping their own crops for the day. A friend is in need and they've come to help. It's what this community and a lot of our communities stand for. Somebody needs some help, you'll get it.
Try that in a small town.
Cornfield. Tractor. I was doing good until that last part. Made me miss my small town because that's what we do. If there is a farmer, for whatever reason, let's say a tornado comes through town and it destroys his home and his barn, I will tell you that everybody in that town is out at his farm and is helping him. Yeah, that guy was right. You need help, you got it. Whether I know you or not, you got it. Not supposed to blow in my microphone, but I will say what I miss the most about my small town. Health-wise, I can't move back there because Iowa's very humid. Very humid. Which I learned is from all the corn. Who knew? I didn't know that. I didn't learn that till I moved here. But health, I can't be in real high humidity. It'll make my MS flare up. But what I do miss is the simplicity. Everything's so simple in a small town. It's just simple and it's consistent. You can count on if you go to Godfather Pizza after church on Sunday, you're going to see the same people. You're going to know where the Methodists are, where the Baptists are, where the Lutherans are. You just know, and nobody fights about religion. I mean, like after church on Sunday, everybody's just happy to see each other. And same thing at Friday night football games or Friday night basketball games. Everybody in town is at the games. Things are just simple. They're simple. And when you get into the city, as much as my boys tell me they are so glad that I moved them up here to Milwaukee, which I can't believe that they say that, but they're very happy. They were very happy about my decision. It's just simple. And there's not so much hate. And maybe that could be, that could be me looking at two different time periods. I mean, you had the time period when they were little and, the world wasn't crazy, or at least it wasn't too crazy. And then you look at it now where the world's crazy. And maybe that's the difference, is just me and then two different time periods. But yeah, I mean, things are just so much simpler now. And nobody, for him to say that this song portrays thugs in inner city, I don't get that, because yeah, it showed real news footage of people breaking in and looting. But it wasn't just African Americans. There was white people. There were women. There were men. I mean, to say this song is racist is just crazy to me. It is crazy. I don't understand. Maybe I do not have the right to make that statement. But I don't feel, I don't know if I should say this or not. I grew up being exposed to racism. I feel I know racism somewhat. I've been on the other side of it, and I don't agree with it at all. But this song was not racist. I didn't hear one lyric in there that would lead me to go, oh, Jason Aldean. No. He was just saying small town versus big city. This is what we have in small town. We protect each other. We know each other. We're all family. You lose that when you move to a big city. You lose the family feeling, and it's more everybody for their own. I don't know. I mean, sometimes when I, react to videos like this that are controversial, I try to look at it from all sides and to point to a particular point in the video or the lyrics and say, yeah, I can see where somebody would think that. I just don't feel that here at all. Huh. Well, apparently CMT pulled the video from rotation. Ooh, big deal. CMT's been this way for years. They used to do the same thing to Toby Keith. If he had any song that was controversial, they'd pull it. The only thing is, Jason Aldean, he doesn't need CMT. He can upload his video to YouTube, to Rumble. I mean, there's many social platforms that he could get exposure from. And he doesn't need CMT. I mean, obviously, they're woke. So, yeah, you don't need him. You don't need him, Jason. You do you. His best friend always tells me, you do you. Anyway, okay, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have a comment, please leave it down below. I read my comments every day. I try to respond. I don't so much on the weekends because I kind of take a break from podcasting on the weekends, but during the week, I try to respond within 24 hours. So, well, that's it for today. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channel, because things that I can't post on YouTube, I will post on Rumble. So, that's it for today. Didn't have any Blue Angels go by. I said practice was from 10 to 3, and it's past 10 now. So, okay, well, I love you guys. Have a great rest of the day.